disclaimer, because once in a while I make a statement like that, you know. They have to protect themselves.
Yes. Hello, Gracie.
I'd like you to meet my guest today. Here's something that it's an organization that hasn't been in existence for many, many years, but it's known as the Mobile Housing Association. And here is the president, Shirley Le Croy. And she's here to tell us about the association and everything concerned with it.
Hello, Gracie.
Nice to have you.
Thank you. The Arizona Mobile Housing Association has been in existence, since the late 1940s. It started out...
Has it really?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I thought it was
No.
early 70s.
This is going to be the 35th annual convention here in Yuma next weekend.
Sake.
The 20th and 21st. And it started out as a small group over in the Phoenix area and Tucson area, when after World War II they started to try to get rent control in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was formed to look out for the interest of the mobile home park owners. And it has grown since then to the point that we have our own legislative lobbyist.
My gosh.
And he's there primarily to look out for the park owners, to see that the legislature doesn't put in some laws that might make
Sort of a watchdog for you.
Right, right.
Sure.
And other benefits of joining is we have an insurance policy, liability policy available through an agent that we all work with, and we get a better rate than if we...
Yeah, that often works very well.
Yeah. If we individually went, we wouldn't be getting the good break.
A blanket policy.
Right, a
that
blanket
covers.
policy. And just last March this past March, they instituted an action hotline into our state office in Phoenix. And it's an 800 number where everybody can call in from anywhere in the state. If they have a question, a tenant, it's mainly for tenants. They can call in if they have a problem with their owner or manager. They can find out what legal rights they have. According to, there is a law, the landlord-tenant law for mobile homes, parks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
A special
Right. There's a separate terms other than, because apartment laws would not apply to us.
No,
it's totally different situation. So from what I've been reading, they've had like over 400 calls. In the first 2 weeks, they had over 300 calls.
Good grief.
Yeah.
They didn't know they would get that kind of response.
No. And so mostly the secretary, we have a very good secretary, Peggy Henderson, who lived here in Yuma for many years, is now the state secretary. And she's very knowledgeable on the landlord-tenant law, and she can arbitrate or, you know, sort of settle it over the phone. If it doesn't get settled over the phone, then there is an arbitration board that the people can go before.
I see.
And their problem will be heard and hopefully solved without too many problems.
Sure.
Yeah.
How many parks do you suppose there are in the Yuma area?
In the Yuma area, there are over 150.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that includes your more stationary ones and your RV parks?
Right,
and the whole bit.
right. The RV parks, the mobile home parks, that takes into account those from about 10 spaces on up.
Yeah.
And we have one that's over 400 spaces.
My.
So, and in the winter, there is not an empty space.
I know. That's true.
Yeah.
So many, I guess every year they have to send them upriver to see what they can
I
find.
hate to do that. It really hurts me.
I know it. I know it.
I
Because
tell
those
'em-
people chose us first.
Right, and they don't come back then. They'll say, oh, you must too crowded,
Yeah.
so just we'll write it off and go someplace else. But I try to tell people, go park in the desert if you have to until you can find a space. Don't write
Yeah.
us off.
Because everyone doesn't stay the entire
Right.
winter season.
Right,
They
right.
can't afford to.
Well,
So there'll be an occasional opening.
Yeah.
But not a great many.
not a great
however.
many.
No.
Many times there's illness. The people come with the intentions of staying the full winter, and they have to go home for some reason.
Yeah.
And you just never know from one minute to the next.
No, certainly not.
So.
How did you happen to land the convention in Yuma? Is this a first?
Yes. Yes.
Hot dog.
Well, our group last spring, a year ago, we discussed it at a meeting and decided, well, why not have it here? And so we issued the invitation at last year's convention, which was in Apache Junction.
Oh.
And they gladly
I've never been
accepted
to
it.
Apache Junction.
Oh, well,
As far as where is it?
it's east of Phoenix.
Darn, I must go there sometime.
Right. They have a lot of parks, too, over
they?
90 or
I've
something
always
like
liked that name.
Yeah, yeah. But we thought, oh, and we mentioned that we would like to have the convention here. Everybody says, oh, gosh, I haven't been to Yuma in years.
Sure
or,
they
I've
have.
never been to Yuma, or I pass it on the freeway.
Is that
And going to
right?
San Diego. So,
Tut.
right.
We have exits all along the way.
Right. So we decided, well, it would be a good thing. And into our convention, usually it has been a one-day affair from early morning to late night, with a lot of things crammed into the day. So we've made it a two-day affair,
Oh, good.
giving them time in the afternoon on Saturday. We have planned either they can take the historical tour, and Annie Masick will conduct the tour of the
Oh,
people.
he'll give them a goodie.
Uh-huh. Or they can take the bus. We have a bus chartered. They can take that up to Martinez Lake, and we have a boat tour scheduled for them.
Oh, one of these days, that's one I'm going to do. That sounds like such fun. Sam, of course, will go out and play golf because our
True.
weather will be
True.
perfect.
Right. A lot of people just want to go explore and see what's here.
Now, did you tell me when this is going to be?
May 20th, 21st.
Oh, lots happening that weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Well, there's lots happening every weekend and through the weekdays as
Right,
well.
right. You know, our winter visitors, when they go home, they think that Yuma just dries up and
Oh,
goes to sleep.
might be nice. Might be nice.
Yeah. I said, boy, you should stick around here and see what happens.
Yeah.
I try to tell them the things that happen, and we try to get them to stay a little
True.
longer and come a little earlier every year. But boy, when April 1st comes, they're off
I know
like
it.
a shot.
And a lot of them went back to cold weather, too.
Right. We get, and that's the thing, we get letters back then. Oh, we hit the
Oh,
snow and the
We
ice.
shouldn't have come back home so soon.
Right.
Sure.
Absolutely, we get it every year.
But that is good. What else are you going to do? You will have a banquet of some kind, I'm
yes.
sure.
On Saturday night, the grand big thing. Every year, the convention, of course, has its election of officers. And so at the banquet, we have the installation of the new officers and the farewell speech of the old officer.
Yeah.
And it will be at the Stardust. And as entertainment this year, we have been fortunate enough to get the folkloric ballet from San Luis.
Oh, they are darling.
Really good. We saw
Yes.
them perform last Saturday at the
Yes, I wanted to get
mall.
down there, but I didn't
Yeah.
get a chance.
And then accompanying them will be the mariachis from San Luis also.
Hot dog, that'll be a
So,
treat for those
I think
people.
so. I think so.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they have had entertainment, and last year they had a dance band, and I think since we are so close to Mexico,
Yeah.
that we should utilize
Oh, yes,
them.
and it's so colorful, and
Right.
music is such an exciting thing.
Right.
Tell me this, with mobile home parks, I realize that for those who are behind in putting in a pool and shuffleboard courts and a big recreation hall, that's just getting to be a must, isn't it?
Well, we find that there are several, just in the general society, there are the blue-collar type workers, there are the society type, cocktail hour type, and the ones that have had lived that way in their past life, their standard of living doesn't change when they retire. So they want to come to one that has all the social events and the pool tables
Yeah.
and the pool, swimming pool and the therapy
Yeah.
pool, and they are willing to pay a higher rate of rent. In our park, we seem to have the ones that were the workers that really worked for every penny
Really?
they have. They have a limited income, and they're happy to live without the rec hall, and they make their own fun.
May I ask, which is your park?
May Avenue Park.
Sure, I've seen that.
Well, I hope so.
Sure I have. I go down May Avenue every now and then.
Yeah.
But that's a good area. Yeah, in that particular part of town, they're not fancy parks.
No. No.
By no means, but they're good utility parks.
Right. Right.
They fulfill the purpose.
For
the average income.
Yeah, for the average income. That's what all of them. There are 8 parks on May Avenue. If you
And
didn't
really,
know
I'm
that.
not casting stones at anybody in their cocktail hour, but some of the parks just can hardly wait for 5 o'clock to come every day because they
Right.
start partying.
Right.
That would kill me. It would absolutely kill me. I would hate it. By the end of the 3rd day, I couldn't take any more.
Yeah.
But a lot of them just love it, and they feel that they have earned
Right.
whatever type of
Right,
recreation appeals to them.
Yeah.
If that's their bag, why, that's fine.
In our park, the people get together and they have their potlucks out on their lawns, and they have a craft hour show and tell, so to speak,
Sure.
every week. And if the men, of course, the men have always worked all their lives, and they see my husband doing something, they'll pitch in and help because they want something to do.
Yes. Do you know that actually, winter visitor age, or let's see, what do we call them now? Not snowbirds, sunbirds.
Right.
They will fix things because they want something to do. That's why
Right,
they
right.
contribute so many man hours to our town, all over town, volunteer work. They're marvelous. But they love to putsy around and fix things.
Right.
And nothing they love better than to see your husband needing some help.
That's
They may
the
help
truth.
him to pieces.
Yeah. So it
That's
spoils us. And the
And usually
women,
they plant flowers,
oh,
they
absolutely,
beautify. Oh, they're
absolutely.
wonderful.
And they plant gardens, and so everybody leaves just before the tomatoes get ripe.
And you get all the
And
tomatoes.
we get the tomatoes, and we get
Yeah.
the cantaloupe, and we get the watermelon.
Oh,
and
how
we have the
nice.
beautiful petunias all over.
Yes,
And
aren't they lovely?
they just don't stay along. I've written letters to the editor during the winter saying, stay April and May. These are the
Yeah.
2 best months that
Yeah.
Yuma has to offer.
That's right.
So why not stay and
That's
enjoy
true.
the
You
desert?
couldn't ask for anything more beautiful than we're having.
No, no.
But they won't listen.
They gotta go home.
I know it. Another thing, it just springs to my mind, another thing that I have heard advocated, and it has nothing to do with the mobile housing at all. A salesman who got me started in this business 20 years ago used to try his best to convince merchants, save a little of that Christmas budget and spend it in the summer when you need it. They won't do it. They all say, oh, we can't advertise, business is slow because the winter visitor is gone. Baloney. That's why they play that disclaimer, because once in a while I make a statement like that, you know. They have to protect themselves here.
Yes.
But we just have different ideas about things.
That's right.
But they are marvelous, and believe me, they do a lot for our economy.
Oh, very much. When we first came to Yuma 4.5 years ago, we came as a winter visitor.
Where'd you come from?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, had you been here before?
Yes, my parents were snowbirds since 1968.
Is
And so we
that
came
right?
in the winter vacation while we were working in Portland to visit them. And so we had been to Yuma previously, and then my husband retired, and we came down as a winter visitor. And we bought the park, and we love it here. And we have all our children and grandchildren up in Portland yet.
My
So,
God. Well, they know where to visit in the winter.
right, that's
You
when they
bet.
come.
Sure.
Yeah.
When your park is full and you're your busiest.
Busiest,
Sure.
yes.
Do you have a phone number? Does everyone need to know a phone number,
Yes,
perhaps,
yes.
if they have
They
questions?
can call me at 783-0883. And that's our home phone. And if I'm not there, you'll get our recording,
Yeah,
and I'll return the call.
but make your reservations the weekend
Yes.
of the 20th and 21st.
And you don't have to be a member of AMHA in order to attend the convention.